Hello, I'm Mariene Sanchez, Magnet Tribune and Who is Who reporter. Today is a special day because we are interviewing former VMT student Claudia Chapa, a Martin High graduate who is now an opera performer based in Austin, Texas. Welcome back home, Ms. Chapa. How does it feel to be back?
It feels great to be back. It really, really feels great. It feels like a big hug.
Last night's performance was really amazing. My mom loved it.
Oh, good. Yay. I'm glad she enjoyed it.
Now, may I ask you, why do you sing?
Why do I sing? Well, when I was a little kid, I sang because I like to sing because I was a kid and everyone likes to sing. And at this point now, it's more of an expression and it's a job to me. Like I have to sing. It's something that I believe in. So I sing because I believe in it. I sing because I have to. I sing because I want to.
So it's your passion?
Yeah, it definitely is a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm. For people who don't know much about performance, how would you explain opera?
Okay, so opera. Opera is a complete form. There's orchestra, instrumentalist. There's singers, performers. There is crew. There is fundraisers. There's dancers. There's costumes. There's makeup. There's sets. So it's a complete form. It's not just the singer stands up there and sings. There's a huge community behind opera. It's kind of like the tip of the iceberg. But all opera really is music, is stories. It's people that are communicated through music.
Like the plays you've been in?
The operas that I have been in, yes.
And you said that you usually play villains?
I usually play evil ladies because of my voice type. I'm a mezzo soprano, and it's a little darker, so the sound is intimidating, a little scary sometimes. So it kind of lends itself to playing evil roles, sexy roles sometimes, or older roles.
Amazing. How does it feel to return to Laredo to perform at your old school and hometown?
It's a little surreal. It's great. I'm very thankful for this. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to share what progress is. We all start in a school. I started in VMT and I like to sing. Was I in this level then? No. So you start off at a certain level and then you leave high school and it's up to you to become better or not. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity to come back and show what progress can be, especially coming from LISD. I went to Martin High School, and I'm very proud of that. And also, I'm a permanent resident of the United States, so that's another thing. I'm representing more than just myself. It's a whole community. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
And since VMT was your old campus, how does it feel to be in the new campus?
I'm a little speechless because this whole facility is so beautiful. I'm sorry. What you guys have available to you is amazing. It's state of the art. And the old VMT had its charm, and there's things that one would miss from that, but this facility is insane. It's just so great. It's amazing. So I'm speechless just to see all the performance spaces and the technology in each building, each room. It's just really great.
What is it like to sing on the stages of New York City?
Intimidating and a little scary at first, because you're like, I'm from Laredo, Texas, and I'm in Carnegie Hall. This is crazy. But once you get over that, it's just it's what I do every day. This is what I train for. Because opera singers are a lot like athletes. You wouldn't think it, but we have to train for this. We have to train to not get nervous and just to be consistent. So once you get over the fact that you're in a stage like that, you go, this is my job. I do this every day. I could do it in Laredo, Texas. I could do it in San Antonio, Texas, or Carnegie Hall in New York. It's all the same. Everyone has to enjoy the performance. That's the big goal as the singer. But it's a pretty great experience, yeah.
And are the audiences different than how it is in Laredo?
I think the Laredo audiences they want to have a good time. Everyone wants to have a good time. That's all across, right? So we're in New York, they're like, yay, you did a good job, And in Laredo, if you do a good job and you really connect, it's more than just yay. It's they want to hug you and they want to kiss you and they want to give you a gift and they want to know what's going on. You know, they want to touch you, and so yeah, it's different. It's a little bit more they're there and I'm here, and they appreciate the performance. You know, they say bravo, bravi, all that thing. But Laredo crowd is a little bit more, yeah, it's like a football game kind of thing, yeah.
Did you receive gifts last night?
Yeah, I did. I received some gifts, and I wasn't even expecting it, so I'm always surprised. A man came up to me, a very nice man came up to me and gave me a tiny little yellow knife. I think it's one of the strangest gifts I've ever gotten. And then he gave me a business card and told me, if your dog or cat ever dies, I'll prepare them for you for free. So that is that's the craziest gift I've gotten to date at a performance, yeah.
Do you have a routine before your performances? And if so, please explain.
Yeah, I have a routine. I think everyone has a routine before they do something big, but I actually don't like eating heavily. Before I do. The night before, I eat a big good meal. The next day, I eat light, a lot of soups, salads, because I don't want to have acid reflux, or I just want to be, because it's your body is an instrument, so I don't want my body to get in the way. No cheese, a lot of carbonated water. So I like carbonated water a lot, but it does make me burp, but that's okay. I can deal with it. Water, cleaner liquids that isn't going to give me phlegm. And then I like to give myself at least 2 hours of warming up before the concert. So then the instrument is nice and warmed up, like a machine. You want to warm up your car before you drive it. So I like to warm up my voice 2 hours beforehand. And depending on the performance, if it's like last night, the recital was more full glam, then I need the 2 hours to do my makeup. I like to do my own makeup. I like to do my own hair. It's part of the ritual. And look over the music, just make sure I have everything planned out. If I'm working with a pianist, communicate with the pianist that, I'm going to do this a little differently than last time. So, yeah, there's a ritual, but everybody's different.
Has anything bad ever happened on stage?
Well, bad. So far in my life, I've never seen anybody die on stage. That's the worst thing that can happen if something like that happens. But, yeah, I mean, recently, I did The Witch in Hansel and Gretel, and the aria that I started with is the witch's aria, and it's the broomstick aria. So you gotta have a broomstick for that, right? And right when I'm about to start the aria, I turn around to go and grab the broomstick, and it wasn't there. So what do? You can either stop and go, "Where's my broomstick?" But it's in the middle of a performance, so you can't do that. So I just improvised. I just did something else. I just went with it because that's kind of what you have to do. So bad is a strong word in performance. Bad would be like someone fell and broke their leg. I thankfully, knock on sofa, that I've never really been there for that. But when things don't go the way you planned it, then that's what we're trained for, to improvise. We're trained to go with the flow and make it work.
What thoughts and feelings do you have before going on stage?
What thoughts and feelings do I have? Well, I used to get very nervous before, when I left the VMT and I was starting college. I used to get so nervous, like dry heaving and shaking. And so the voice has a natural vibrato. So it's like da 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 da. So if you add shaking too, so it's like, it was horrible. I was really bad. So I've learned to really just center myself before a performance. I don't think about, I need it to be good. I better not mess up. I don't think about that. I think about, this is normal. This is what you do. This is what your job is. Your job is to have a good time, and then the crowd has a good time with you. So it's just a lot of affirmations and centering kind of things. That's kind of what I think about. Very, very zen.
Mm-hmm. Who made you want to sing? Did you have anyone who gave you such need to sing?
My mother. She, my grandmother sang. She likes to sing a lot. And then my mom loves to sing. So when she figured out that I like to sing, I have to tell you, she did everything in her power with the limited funds that she had to make sure that I had an opportunity to sing. So in like Farias Elementary School, I went there. There was a music teacher there, Mr. Gano, who changed my life. I think he mentioned to my mom that I really liked singing, and so my mom did everything she could. She like bought little karaoke. They call them like in Spanish pistas, and she would like teach me songs and things. She would volunteer me to sing for things. You know, I'm a little girl and I'm so nervous. I'm shy. I'm so shy, but she would volunteer me to do those things. She pushed me a lot, and then that's what I needed. You know, I owe a lot of things to my music teachers. Every teacher that I ever came in contact had a big influence in my life, big influence. But if it wasn't for my mom pushing me to get out of my shell and to do something that I loved, I don't know exactly who I would be right now.
Gotta love supporting mothers.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you think your performance went last night?
I think it went well, you know. No one stood up and yelled at me, so I think that's a success, you know. It seemed like people had a good time. I think my goal for every performance, anytime I perform, specifically recitals, I want it to be comfortable and I want people to understand what's happening. I don't want it to be me here, there, them there. I don't want a separation. I want them to feel like we're hanging out. And they're watching me perform. I know it's very much I'm here, them there. But I want them to be part of the process. You know, their energy helps me. If everyone sits down and is like, oh, I don't want to be here, I want to feel that, you know? And it makes me work twice as hard. But if everyone is having a good time, which I felt that they were, it makes the concert really fun. So I had a good time. I hope everyone else did.
For sure, my mom did. Like, I had to go home and get ready, and I was late. But my mom wanted to stay because she didn't want to like go home and then come back.
Yeah.
So she stayed, and she was actually really impressed with your performance.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oof, in 5 years. Well, right now I'm working in the U.S., but I want to work in Europe. I want to get a fest contract somewhere, only because opera is not just here. Opera is all over the world. And if you love doing what you love doing, then you should really explore all the options. You should really see, what could I do? I started in Nuevo Laredo. I was born in Nuevo Laredo, Tamaulipas, moved to the U.S., went to Laredo, Texas. Poor. Music has allotted all this traveling and all this opportunity for me. And I get paid for it. I love doing it, and I get paid for it. That's insane, okay? Now, I've been able to travel to Israel, Germany, Italy, through music. So I want to see how far it could take me. Where else could I go using this platform? So in 5 years, I would like to be performing more in Europe, because to me, that's the final frontier. You know, that to me, that would be cool. Why not? Also, why not sing at the Met? I had an audition for them a couple of days ago, so we'll see how that goes. But in 5 years, I would like to be singing in Europe more, yeah.
With opera, you've met new people, right?
Yeah, that's the thing about freelancing and opera singing. So opera, it's a play, right? It's a play set in music. So Romeo and Juliet, correct, right? You have to have all the characters for Romeo and Juliet. I usually would be playing Juliet's mother or nurse, which is cool. That's fine, because it's not always about you. It's about a team. So for the first day of, we call it the first day of school, is the day when we all get together and sing through the opera. And it's a team of, you know, sometimes 2, sometimes 20, and we become family. We have to have a good chemistry. And we do this production, and then the production's done. So I essentially spend time with these people for a month, and then it's done. and then I wait for my next contract, and I meet a whole different group of people. Sometimes repeats because it's a small world, you know, and in the fine arts you bump into people, you know. But I'm constantly meeting new people. I'm constantly meeting new friends. Yeah, so it's not a consistent, you know, every day I see the same person. The only person I see every day is my husband, because I Skype with him as much as I can when I'm traveling.
But you still keep in touch with them, right?
Oh, I have to, yeah. I mean, just like most relationships, you know, like you have to call your mom every day, because your mom's gonna be like, "What's up? Why haven't you called me?" I cannot get away with not calling my husband. I mean, he's a musician too. He's a classical guitarist, and so he understands the business, but he's not a singer, so he's not part of that world, which I like, because I like to have my personal relationship and then my professional relationships. You know, I like the divide. So yeah, I communicate with him a lot. I don't know how older opera singers did it, because look, this is the age of information and technology. You can Skype, FaceTime with anyone you want. Back in the day, maybe you could get to a phone if you're traveling, so it's a lot of letter writing. So I'm not sure how relationships before the cell phone and internet survived. But yes, I communicate with him every day. Yes.
It must have been scary back then.
It must have been huge. Yeah, I don't know. Whew. I'm very happy to be living now, because the phone and computers and tablets make everything very accessible. Got it, but if you have anything off the top of your head.
For the choir people, what would you tell them to inspire them?
For the people in the music
Yes.
department here, I would say this. Choir's a lot of fun, so don't hate on the choir. I was in choir, and it teaches you to be a team player, but take advantage of what you have available to you now. If you're doing UIL, because that's kind of like the competition that happens, they do the solo and ensemble. If you're doing a solo, take advantage of everything that you have available to you. You can look up the translations to your art song. You don't have to just stand there and sing the melody. You can communicate the music. That is the goal of singing. That is the goal of music. Music is already its own little language, and other people either like it or not. Your job is to communicate the music in order for them to find it accessible. I sing in different languages all the time. I'm not fluent in all those languages, but I do the work to make sure that I know what each word means, so then I can communicate that to everybody else. And that's what happened at the recital last night. That's why I picked the art songs, some in English and some in Spanish, but you should be able to understand it no matter what language it is. So work on learning how to communicate the music to people.
Thank you so much for your time. It is an honor to have you here. Really, it is. I'm Mariene Sanchez. See you next time.